So so tomorrow at 10. Ah. Oh, hello, Maxwell. Hello, Meepism. And hello, Pivot. Hello, Existence Being. The finale of Friendship. Can't believe it'll be gone after this. You're right, Pivot. We need to have a talk after this. Since you want to fuck around and play these games, it seems. Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just looking up things for my favorite gacha game. It is already the 16th of June. The hyper focus on niche topic season will finally end. It won't. Because tomorrow is Hiveswap Act 2. Tonight I'm gonna start the reading of the epilogues. Because I don't believe there'll be too many references. I've come to reasons that Wani has workshop support. Ooh. That'll be very nice actually to add in those extra when people decide to make those extra stories for it. I do wonder how easy it would. I've never really posted a mod to the workshop. I think I've done one, but that was like a mod of a mod to make something happen. That was for a very small game, and I was very proud I was able to make that work. Hiveswap Act 2, Demon Zuri once talked me out of playing it when I talked about it. It was all the crack I expected. I do feel like they just, then again, I haven't really been keeping up with it. I've just seen updates occasionally, but I do feel like they still need to expand upon the Ben? I forget the name of the dinosaur, but the one that made Olivia feel pretty god awful by being so pandering. When the epilogues released, some hopes spoke YouTubers streamed to with their pals, and when I woke up, the reading was still going. However, that period, but I believe you, dude. If Wani's workshop store, we could add Riku to the game. Little Gators there, plus a Snoop pack for Snoop mods. Okay. I could add Riku to the game. Let's not go there. I feel that'd be so weird. It's like with the fucking when Normal Boots released their own like visual novel / dating sim. Like, I wonder how they felt. Like, if some of them had egos, I bet they felt like it was really cool that happened, but I don't know. That just feels weird to me. All right, let's start. Volume 18 of Endings, Many. You crash landed on a planet called Eternia. You staggered from the wreckage of your ship. You were desperate for information, for provisions, and possibly a bit of medical attention. But most of all, you were desperate for friendship. Is what you could say if you were written by a bunch of hacks who cared about the Aristotelian ideal of narrative unity. Also, you could make some reference to a circle being complete in a thoughtless and imbecilic manner, but we're all in this together, right? And we've all learned and grown enough to know that there's something deep and dark and absurd breeding beneath the surface. This really isn't about friendship anymore, is it? You've got enough friends. Now you need answers. You need. Oh, god damn it. This was just the intro screen. And I'll be honest. Guy on the left, it's not hitting. He looked a lot cooler when he had that shot of him, and he was like he had his back turned to us. This year does not inspire confidence. But what does being judgmental got us on Alternia? Absolutely fucking nothing. So let's roll, boys. What's next in the docket? Oh, you're really feeling like completely going off the rails. So it's a good thing the first person to ping you on this palm husk is Lyria. That nutty bitch is exactly the sort of destabilizing influence your life needs right now. Hello, my friend. Because that's what we are now. Friends. Cool. That's not a weird at all way to talk to someone. You're really loving this one. You're not sure what it is, but you're positive whatever crackpot keeper this loopy troll is about to rope you into is going to be a real humdinger. There's a sense of finality in the air. You can taste it. Yet you're still judgmental. I am. Learning is the courtesy of listening to you say all that shit without being super put off by how much of a freak you are. Listen up. So I was thinking, since us becoming friends has worked out so well, I think maybe it'd be a good idea to give making more friends another shot after all. I guess that's what I was thinking. So there's this party I was invited to. See, the fellow Jades in my place are always sneak out to go to these things. You gently suggest to Lyrina that she should hurry the fuck up. Why is her character so aggro? That's the kids would say. Like, I know our character has kind of been getting fed up with the whole friend thing, but this is probably the most, like, ass they've been this whole time. Like, I don't think they've ever been this. It just feels like we've leaked, essentially. Where it's like, yes, we've had gradual, like, you're kind of a shit person, but this is just you, like, fully blown, like, just an asshole. Okay, I'm so nervous to go. I want a friend to come with me. Okay, is that so crazy? No, you don't think that's crazy at all. You think that sounds fantastic, actually. You don't ask for any details because who gives a shit? You show up on the block. We're not going to talk about how you got there or whatever, because what a waste of time. You're just there. Larry just met up with you too. What answers are you going to get? Is the facade of this was all for friendship kind of waning now, where you were not someone who actually wanted friendship, but whatever force compelled you to come to Alternia is making you like this. So you're just a chess piece in this greater board or whatever. Because I still believe MC is a chess person from Original Homestuck. Good afternoon, Gamer Jam. You show up on the block. Like I mentioned, there might be dancing, so you decide to really dress up for the occasion. Oh man, you went fucking nuts. You're wearing a cape and shit. Also, like fishnets? Maybe a sexy bra if that's your thing. Whatever, you happen to drudge out of some dumpster or another. Honestly, you can imagine whatever you want here, but no, it's complete bullshit and you look like a total slut. Oh, jeez. Thanks. Lyrian isn't wearing anything special because we would have had to pay someone to redraw all her sprites. From the looks of it, you're heading over to somebody's hive party. You're rolling up on some kind of joint that, from past experience, you can now surmise is an alien domicile. It's pretty big. It may belong to someone on the blue end of the spectrum. Back here again, is this block where all the jade-blooded schoolgirls love to get down and dirty? It hits you like a bucket of ice when you realize whose hive you're walking straight towards this time. This is Ardita's hive. Oh, that's just great. Your friend Ardita! Oh boy, you do love Ardita! Can't wait to see her again! As you approach, you can immediately tell what kind of deal they have going on here. You can hear the tunes bumping all the way down the block. And when you get near enough to see, there are obviously a bunch of teens passed out drunk on the lawn. This is a full-blown frat house rager. Doesn't seem like Larian to start seeing. That's because it isn't. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm doing this. You kind of can't either. Not even in the front door, and you can feel the sweat pouring out of your armpits. This is going to be so much fun. You pass all the smashed lawn teens and go up and knock on the front door. You have to rap on it a few times until the telltale sound of clicking heels faintly reaches your ears. The door opens and you discover that the gracious host standing on the other side is none other than your best friend, Ardita. She looks surprised to see you for only a moment, then her face resolves into a wicked grin. My. Look what the purr beast dragged in. Back for more so soon, my sweet. Not actually sure how much time has passed since you last ran into Ardita, but it doesn't feel like it can be described in any metric by soon. You've been physically savaged so many times since then, you're not sure what you're blocking out though. You tell Ardita you're really glad to see her, because you totally are. You tell her you weren't expecting her to be hosting a party though. Oh, I don't know if I'd call it a party. More of a friendly kickbacks kind of sorts. Sort of exclusive really. All the world's finest influencers are here. Bitch, that's me. Have you seen my shitter? I am the shit. How exactly did you hear about my little shindig? Well, I'll certainly consider you to be one of my finest friends. I don't recall inviting you. You gesture vaguely to Lyrna. She doesn't seem to know how to lie and immediately cracks under the pressure. One of the other Jades from my cloister told me to come. His name is Lanque, but I don't think he was invited either. Get the impression we kind of always come out here. Basically, we're crashing, if that's okay. Well, of course. What's an informal soiree without a few entirely uninvited interlopers? Lyra doesn't seem to know if she's being sarcastic or not, and you aren't sure if she is either, to be honest. You're like, are you fucking with us? And she's like, or whatever. Of course not. I'll just have one question for you, my dears. Ardita beckons you near. You obey her slavishly. And then she leans in close to your ear and intones. Do you hereby certify under penalty of law that you are of age to view adult content within your state of legal residence, have acknowledged the contents of this volume's accompanying mature content description, and are comfortable with the prospect of engaging with challenging or otherwise controversial fictional material? This is real, by the way, Rikku. Question. Do I need an emergency scene filter? Like, do I need to get like just an image or just to black out the screen? Because I'm more than willing to just black out the screen every scene, essentially, or every text dialogue. It's more on themes and actions. You know what's interesting is learning that the epilogues were written during this time that Hiveswap Friendsim came out, and just to have this pop up all of a sudden, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I know like this is the finale. There's like a tone shift or whatever. Nothing explicit on screen that I recall, but be ready just in case. All right, yeah, that's the idea. But I do think it's interesting hearing that epilogue came out during the time of Hiveswap Friendsim, and just this, it just feels like a drastic shift. Like, my honest feelings on this, it feels like the original writer taught someone, and like it's almost if like you had the writer who kind of had like the cadence or like kind of the vibe of OG Homestuck, but now you're giving it to like an edgier person, but they still learn how to write in that Homestuck style, but they put an edge to it. And I don't know how to feel about that. Because if this one, because I feel like with what this is covering and with the epilogues covering, this might be the same writer as that. But I do also feel that, and the community knew the writer for this chapter would pull off shenanigans like this. I'm glad I gave myself like 3 hours to do this volume instead of just an hour and a half. But anyways. I almost feel like if what Maxwell is saying is right, where if you knew the writer's gonna, like, they purposely left him for this because, again, finality. So it's like, oh, we need like that hook or whatever, you know. And I feel like that's just a bad call. I'll, of course, be going through this chapter. Like, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I won't read the explicit stuff, but I guess I just have to see how it goes because yeah, let's just go. So I feel like, all right, I will do. You don't have to. No. Well, no. If this is being streamed, I guess I'll take the spoilers. Yeah, no. If you want to share the tags, go for it. Because, you know, I feel like just so I have an idea, it's like, oh, I feel like this scene's coming up or whatever. I can be ready then, and then do what I need to adjust or whatever. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, that's... Yeah, with what they mentioned earlier, those tags... Yeah, okay. Oh, sorry, Zern. Don't you worry, Demon Zuri. We're just going through this. All right, with those tags, I'm just going to say, if you don't hear me reading something, it's probably because it's going into that content that could be that is of sensitive topics. So, yeah. Yeah, just know that there might be a point where I don't say and I don't read out anything, but the text will still be there. So, safe to make the assumption that, hey, Riku's kind of going nonverbal. Oh, hey. So yeah, for those who aren't directly looking at the screen and just listening to my voice, just know that's the case. That content that would be flagged by YouTube and Twitch, if read aloud, is occurring. So we're just gonna get the bad route, or the quote-unquote bad ending. I think avoiding this scene this whole situation entirely is one of the better options, but... Okay, did I make a save already? Yes, okay. Oh man, that's not... The sound of that is making you quake in your slutty little... I guess this truly is my introduction to Homestuck epilogues, I guess. Like putting in a toe. Controversial fiction material say, damn, it's almost starting to sound like a woman wrote this. Count you out. I'm not going to say anything about that. Arda clicks her tongue. She reaches for the cup of markers she keeps on a table next to the door and pulls out one. You plunge back as she wields it like a weapon to draw as a big blue X on the back of your hand. Here. Now all the fine guests will know we got a delicate little angel in our hands. Then she turns to Lierna. What about you, my sweet thing? Huh? Oh, I'm not real, so it's cool. Very well, then. Welcome to the bash. Drinks are free, but if you die poisoning, you're contractually obligated to croak in range of one of my cameras. Toodaloo. So did I essentially get the flag that says the explicit scenes will not occur? Or explicit text, I should say. Arda blows her toxic kicks and saunters off to mingle with her enthusiastic guests. You and Lierna step past the threshold and have a look around. Lierna's... I'll just keep going. Just power through for now. You and Lierna step past the threshold and have a look around. Lierna is visibly nervous, which is unfortunately a little bit infectious. You ask her where her friend is. She glances around a bit. Oh, I don't know. He's... Oh, over there. You follow her gaze into the living area of the house. A far cry from the site outside. The music's not nearly so bumping as you originally thought it was. The whole shebang seems to have a pretty chilled teenagers drinking Kool-Aid vibe, apart from the fact that it's definitely not Kool-Aid. Everybody's milling about, chatting amicably. You spotted new familiar faces. Damien flirting with roasting his friend on the hearth. Elward leaning casually against the doorframe to the kitchen and talking to a cute girl. Skylar recounting some enrapturing rodeo caper to a group of gathered trolls. It's a real diverse roster of friendly folks. Small Lierna is pointing to at the center of the parlor's arrangement of couches and armchairs. Set among a group of friends on the floor, the only other Jade blood in the room. He's even more impeccably dressed and done up than the rest of the markedly fashion-forward Jades you've met. When he catches sight of Lierna, his face lights up, and he rises to make his way over and greet you. Oh, Lierna, you made it after all. I was starting to think you weren't going to come. Oh, he is a sweet soul. Well, surprise. I didn't. Not come, I mean. I did come. Hi, I'm here. Well, you cringe, but Longquay seems otherwise unaffected by Aaron's astonishing, embarrassing display. He turns to you with a warm smile. And who's this? You can't help but get a little flustered when your eyes meet. His makeup and styling might lean to the severe and feminine, but he has a contrastingly calming and muscular voice that puts you at ease straight away. He seems to have quite the opposite effect on Erna. Before you can answer yourself, she starts blabbering a mile a minute. Oh, this is my friend. I invited them. They're an alien, I guess, and almost murdered them because I was jealous for their friendship with Piranha Law. But I didn't, and we're friends now, and I'm starting to work past my self-destructive obsession of her, and they agreed to come with me because I'm socially anxious and afraid of you, lol. Aw, that's awfully nice of them. But hold on, sorry. I know that was a lot at once. Let me reorganize this statement to a clear, digestible list of bullet points. You've absolutely no need to do that, liar, no? I've understood your points just fine. Oh, okay. Longquay looks back at you. Thank you for helping Lyron to feel more comfortable here. All right. Now that we started to talk, you know what? I can fuck with Longquay. They just seem like an upstanding kind of fellow. And I love that. Truly sensible in an insensible world. And very nice, very sweet. I do really appreciate that. Why don't you come and sit with us? Like, I'm trying to remember, because, like, that shot of Longquay with their back turned to us with that face they're making in, like, the volume preview. Kind of reminds me of, like, think like Kuwabara almost. Like, they're gonna give me that Yanker Greaser kind of vibe. And I thought that was really cool. But then also, the one small Jade troll mentioned that, oh, he's too cool to pretend. So I thought he was gonna have that vibe of just like kind of a cold exterior, but really friendly and warm when they speak to people. It's just that, and first impressions or whatever of them. Like that's what I got with that shot of them in the description we got from the small Jade troll, is that he was going to be that kind of character where you know, oh, they look like, you know, they're a real tough guy, a real roughhouser, but no, they're really gentle and sweet. Why don't you come and sit with us? Longquay turns and gestures to the other trolls he was speaking with before. A teal-blooded boy with an indigo-blooded girl, neither of whom you recognize. They both have notebooks in their laps, and they give you friendly waves. Okay, sounds great. What are we doing? We were just in the middle of a poetry reading. I don't know if you prepared anything on your own to share. You might find it relaxing just to listen. Poetry? Lion's face has gotten bright green. Oh boy. Why would you think I've written any poetry? I don't, really. It was merely a suggestion. Have you? Well, maybe. Wait, no. You put a comforting hand on Aaron's shoulder. Intuiting immediately that she has indeed written plenty of poetry, but is embarrassed by the prospect of sharing any of it. You remind her she's among trusted friends here and has nothing to fear. Oh, I guess you're right. Well then, please come and join us. Longquay leads you back into his group, inviting you to sit down with them in a circle. Lyrna goes to deliberate lengths. Also, Lyrna said she's afraid of him, which is interesting. Also, I only know they both have those fangs. Are you actually a monster? Like, are the reasons I see those tags because of you? I truly hope that's not the case. Longway leads you back into this group, inviting you to sit down with them in a circle. Lionel goes to deliberate lengths to insert you in between herself and Longway so you're the one sitting next to him. Why don't we pick up where we left off? I was just about to read my latest piece. You say that sounds great. Longway's two friends close their eyes and take each other's hands. You and Lionel are both plain surprised when Longway and the indigo blood sitting next to Lionel try to take yours to close the circle. At your obvious shocked expression, Longway explains, yeah, Demon Zero is saying that he is a mutant for Jade Bloods because all Jades are women. So he's a very rare instance of this occurring, essentially, as I was explaining to you yesterday. Which, yeah, I can't recall ever seeing a man Jade, but I think with almost every other blood type, I've seen male and female. I do wonder what I picked at the start. I do wonder if that was either a route choice or their form of... It's like the whole armpit licking thing, where you can say, no, I'm going to have self-respect. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to enjoy the pit princess pit. And then it just skips the whole scene. But if you say, you have no self-respect, I'm going to worship this man's armpits. You get that whole scene where he starts talking about sniffing and even wanting to lick it or whatever. What would the taste be? All of that. You know, something that any normal person wouldn't be embarrassed about, you know. So I do wonder if that first choice there made it so that you won't see those content tags, that it was just sent. If that's the case, I don't really care to go back to pick that other option then. If I'm still getting the same story, it's just that segment is just cut. Which then speaks to the nature of, was that scene necessary then? That scene that makes those tags appear wasn't necessary. The pit stop achievement, that one makes complete sense for that to be there. The whole pit worshiping thing. For what reason? Lore reasons, obviously. But this one, no. You know, Aristotle once wrote something about that. About the whole armpit worshipping thing. Truly an innovator of his time. At your obviously shocked expression, Longway explains, we find physical contact helps us to feel closer on a spiritual level during our poetry sessions. But if you aren't comfortable with it, you're under no obligations. You feel really respected right now, so you and Lion are both assent to join the circle. She even takes the initiative to hold your hand first. Longway reaches out and takes your fingers gently into his. You don't know what it is, but you can't help yourself from blushing shyly. His hand is soft and warm in yours. Short red nails, immaculately manicured. Alright then, let me begin. This is a short poem I've written in free verse based on something haunting me as of late. What has been haunting you, good sir? Reflecting back on one of my most complicated and passionate past relationships. Forgive me, this will be a bit raw. Is he about to go intense? And will the music change when he goes intense? It is as yet untitled. Longway draws a deep breath and closes his eyes. His notebook is open in his lap. You can see the poetry. Is he about to, like, slam us? Is this about to be like when, I always forget his name. When the clown goes insane and starts making, those scary expressions. His notebook is open in his lap. You can see the poem written there in elegant hand, but he doesn't need to look at it to recite the words. What is the meaning of a memory? A question I oft ponder, intangible and untraceable by anything but the mind, yet so potent as to leave one sick, as if poisoned or wounded in a literal sense. And what meaning is there in regret and longing? Can my lamentations change the past? Will they move the future? Shall they amount to more than just what unamores my here and now? My lamentation seems so bad. If I restrict my world to that, I'm enjoying the live theory craft. There's been a lot of that these last few days. I think it started volume 14 where it's just like all right, we're starting to get some things to work with. What the fuck does this all mean? What do the numbers mean, Mason? If I restrict my world to that in which is before my eyes, to those whom I may touch, to that which I might alter, one would no doubt conclude that thoughts of you are last among what I consider to matter. To that. But which is before my eyes, to those whom I may touch, to that which I might alter. One would no doubt conclude that thoughts of you are more. And still you haunt me yet, like a scar, like a disease uneager to abate. Who are you and who am I after so long without you? I know, I don't know, I won't know, but do I know, but what I know, and what can it even mean to know? No, no, no. It vexes me, although it so vexes me, though. What, your dialogue here made me stand back to reality being distracted. What on earth are you talking about? You see, Pivot, there's something on us humanoids called armpits. And Aristotle was the first one to realize that there are some people with this inclination to worship it. Just how with we had the Dark Ages, and then we got out of the Dark Ages as soon as Dark Souls 1 was released. It was not until the Toho community came and started doing the pit worship. And then again, we came to another revelation in the 15th volume of Homestuck Hiveswap Friendsim, where you meet a clown, really chill guy, really cool dude, and he crucifies you, and he's gonna kill you or whatever. But then you see that he uplifts his arm, and you see his armpits, and you already worship the ground this man stands on. But you can't help yourself to dedicate yourself to his body even more, and you take a whiff of his pits. And again, like I mentioned before, any ordinary person reading this overly explained monologue of the MC worshiping this man's pits would not be bothered at all. But those with weird inclinations would be bothered by this dialogue. I'd like to point out that this message took 3 minutes to send. Well, maybe you should run faster. Though it vexes me, though so little I valued it when it was before me, a thing in a you I touch and see and know and hate and wonder, revile/worship. Now it and you are a traceless ghost, and I preoccupy myself with nothing but futile tasks of redefinition and reinterpretation, and circuitous dwellings on that which I understand even less now than in the times when my wondering might have been so easily answered, a question or a bite or a kiss, or even a single word spoken honestly. Man, I do love being around non-English speakers so no one else can hear this out of context. I guess that would be the one blessing listening it to in my house with my parents is that, yeah, they know English, but I'm throwing out a lot of jargon so they wouldn't understand. Pressed though I am to give color to my bond, I look not to onyx nor ash, but that which pulses within our very veins, that so blindly jade, hard as a stone for which it is so named. Twisted and pulled, hammered and forged, shaped unnaturally as if a chain, a stricture within scriptures, a certain so meaningful tincture. Resents you though I must, envy you though I may. Now leagues and leagues stretch between us, and I make peace with naught but what I say. You are only that which is within me, my blood and my mind, and that is at once nothing and the most elementary definition of everything. You realize you are holding your breath when the long wave finally finishes. The circle falls into meaningful silence, taut as a wire. The tension breaks when his eyes flutter open, tears spilling over his long lashes. You squeeze Longke's hand gently. He weeps silently and beautifully. Such powerful art. He musters a wan smile as he gazes across the circle at Larina. Larina, would you like to read next? Larina looks stunned. There's moisture gathering in the corner of her eyes. Of course anyone would be moved by something so emotional and raw. I guess I have a poem I could read. Larina takes out her planner and opens it, breaking the circle of her held hands. She can recite from memory like Longque. When she speaks, her voice is small and timid. This one's called Still. I'm still. I sit still. I do what I'm told still. I wonder about the way that I am and I think, still? I see her every day and I still miss her. She hugs me and I feel cold. I'm surrounded by people and I'm still alone. I'm still me, I still love her, and I still hate that. Wow, you're really proud of Larina for opening up like this. She's crying too. Now, you reach out to take her hand back in yours. The indigo blood beside her comfortably strokes your shoulder. Sorry. It's not really good and long like yours, Longque. I'm not really a poet or anything. I just wrote down how I feel. Larina, it's fine. I thought it was beautiful. Poetry is about expressing yourself. It's not important that it be any set length or sound any certain way. All that matters is that you've spoken your blood pusher. And I think you've accomplished that remarkably. We're all very proud of you. You find yourself drawn into a group hug by Longque and the other trolls. Larina is sobbing openly now, and her raw emotion seems to have inspired similar pathos in others. Before you know it, you feel yourself tearing up too. It feels good to get it all out, but before long it's becoming clear Larina is kind of reaching her limit. She pulls back and sniffles out something about wanting to go home. Of course, Larina. That's what you need. Talk you back at the cloister. Okay. See to it that she gets back safe, will you? Tell Longque that of course you will. Take Larina carefully by the hand to lead her out of the party. Squeeze your fingers back to let you know she appreciates you. This is one of the endings, isn't it? You walk back from the party in a comfortable silence for a while. When you glance over at her face, it occurs to you that you've never seen Larina this happy. Of course, this is literally the second time you've ever seen her. So you guess you... No, this is the third time. Like, I think they're trying to account for continuity, I guess, because in one ending, in her ending, you know, you see her, and that's the first time. And the second time would have been when you're with the small Jade child who does woo-woo and wanted to go to like the Kirby's Con or whatever. So this would be the third time, unless they're not counting the first time. But again, I think this is just more of a weird thing of like they're not counting the other ending. Because fuck it. You really want to encourage her on this path of recovery she's going down and all, but so you ask her about, you know, her and Longque. What? You know, her and Longque. What, we're just friends. I mean, it's not like I have a crush on him or anything. I know I've had romantic feelings for a girl before, so it'd be really problematic if I liked a boy now. Oh, you say you're sorry, you didn't know. What? Be problematic if I liked a boy now. But I don't trust the fancy man who reeks of fake perfection. Well, that's the thing, is like we have Branya. So I can't really say that like how he acts is something to be not trusted. The only thing that gives me pause to trust him is just the tags. But it might be more of a case that it occurred like that occurs to both Larina and Longque, that they are not the ones that like Larina and Longque would be the victims of these situations. I don't believe Longque would be an aggressor. Because again, we have Branya here, and you don't know who Branya is, but Branya was a prim and proper person. And the only time she like gets the bloodthirst is when you harm the children. But other than that, she's like, she is one of the most patient trolls we met at that point, where she wants to help out and she's just juggling a bunch of things, so it's just priorities at that point. So Longquit, I don't think we can just say, oh hey, it's fake niceness or whatever, fake perfection, fake goodwill person. I mean, if it's the dumb thing of, oh hey, we already had this one person who's really prim and proper and they're just really a nice person, well now we have to do the opposite of it because you had these expectations. Because the reason I say it's probably dumb and not a good idea is just because how you handle it, how you build up to it. That's it. I hate not knowing what these proper nouns are. I'm starting Homestuck right this second. Oh, you say sorry, you didn't know. Oh, okay. I just don't let. Wait, what? I've had romantic feelings for a girl before, so it'd be really problematic if I liked a boy now. That is an interesting line. But I get it. See, let me read it as if it were me. I know I've had romantic feelings for a girl before, but it'd be really problematic if I liked a boy now. See? Just replace Rihanna with me, and that line makes perfect sense. It's okay, don't let it happen again. I understand Lyerna. I just had to put myself in her shoes and nope, that's me, alright. If I started liking boys now, yeah, that'd be a problem. Why? Because I love women. It's as simple as that, boys. Liner gives you a warm smile and reaches out to pull you into a hug. Thank you for helping me. I was really nervous, and I think if I hadn't been for your help, I wouldn't have been able to come at all. But I did, so thanks. I wasn't perfect, but I think I really opened up tonight. I'll see Longquay again, and I hope, and in the future, things will be easier, right? You certainly will. You put a comforting arm around her shoulders and walk her to the rest of the way home. You feel like this night really taught you an important lesson. Not everything is about collecting a large quantity of friends as is humanly possible. Sometimes strengthening your bond with someone you already know can be just as rewarding. Screw you say, to the concept of good endings and bad endings and a narrative of railroading. This route makes you feel heckin' valid. That's fine by you. And you got your cape and your fish. I can see the lines that make up the fishnet. Alright, give me one more. I'm just gonna use the restroom real quick. I just had a thought. I was using the restroom. I don't like how Lyrina said it'd be really problematic if I like boys now. She might try to be aggressive towards Longquit. I feel like that's... I don't like the way they said that implication. But I think they might make Lyrina the aggressor. Like she starts drinking and then proceeds to make those tags the reason why they're there. All right. You bet, Chief. Tell her to let you in. That's good to hear. Why don't you come right in then, my dear? I don't want you to see you making any little posts online. I don't want to see you making any little posts online about how my party is too fucking problematic for you, though. Arita steps back and welcomes you again to her abode with grandiose gesture. You're very, very excited for Arita's party. You know definitely that you'll enjoy absolutely every second of what she has in store for you. Arita, I just want you to know, you'll be the first to die in the revolution. Once you've stepped in past the threshold, Arita blows you a toxic kick and saunters off to mingle with her enthusiastic guests. Oh yeah, this is even rowdier. First thing that hits you once you're in the door is the music. It's a solid wall of bass that reverberates through your body down to your bones. So how is Lankwe going to be in this situation? The intense dance track is blasting so loud you can hardly hear yourself think. It has come to be this loud to drown. It has to be this loud to drown out all the shouting coming from the living room. As you apprehensively advance, it becomes quickly clear that Erin is completely out of her element here. She's a bundle of nerves beside you, practically glued to your hip. When you actually step into the living room, she physically attaches herself to your arm. Wow, this is more than I was expecting. You two, scene of absolute chaos. The living room of the house is filled to the brim with rowdy teens dancing rhymelessly to the pounding music. Furniture has all been knocked over or otherwise destroyed, and you can make a pretty good guess of what's filling all the red cups you see in everyone's hands. You're well to tell Erna you won't blame her if she wants to dip, but you can't get the words out before she's being flagged down by a jade-blooded boy who's muscled his way out of the... This is when he has the greasier appearance. This is when he has that look that I've expected. Lerna, you made it. Lerna all but flings herself away from your body and freezes like a scared animal as the troll approaches. For all the commotion and ruckus, he's still remarkably well put together. The vigorous dance huddle doesn't seem to have disturbed his sharp makeup or his impeccably coiffed hair. There is a curious red stain down the front of his white shirt, though. He has a slutty-looking indigo-blooded girl on his right arm and an even sluttier-looking teal-blooded boy on his left, though he shakes them off and waves them away by the time he reaches you and Lyron at the entryway of the room. Hi, Lankwe. Yeah, I'm here. You watch with amusement as Lyron practically bursts into flame under his gaze, and it only gets worse when he slides up to give her a startlingly intimate embrace. I was really hoping just for... Again, I haven't seen this through, but I kind of get what's going to happen. Or at least I have a guess. I was really hoping for the Yankee/Greaser angle where he's just kind of there, you know? He's just doing that because that's just how the way things are. But I can see this going bad already. Bring the flower crown. Yeah, no, that was just a good guy. It's like, oh no, he's just a good guy. That's it. Like I was expecting, like I said, cool Bara, like, you know, not in terms of mannerism, but just kind of like the aesthetic or whatever. Kind of rough around the edges, but like golden heart, good fucking guy. But then, no, just a gentle soul, just a good guy. Really sweet, really nice with this guy, really warm. Would love to be friends with them. Then you get this, and it's just... Yeah, I can see how the tags go. Would anyone be opposed to me avoiding the bad route in this? Like, is that absolute, like, is there lore? Is there something we actually learn? It is the finale after all. we'll just fucking see how this goes. She squeaks and tries to hug him back, but is too timid to actually touch him with her hands. And you see sweat pouring down her face. For a solid 5 seconds, that seemed to include Lanka smelling Lyrna's hair. He pulls back to smile down at Lyrna with a heavy gaze. Lyrna's face is bright green, her eyes are bugging out. That's the thing, though, Pivot, is that we have 2 different universes now, or 2 different branches on the thing that is the timeline. We have one timeline where Longque is just a good guy, just a sweet guy. And then we have this one where he is what seems to be a man whore, and really aggressive one, I might add. So there is a legitimate form. That's the main takeaway right there. It plays on the finally, just that fact. Coin flips, unflips coin. Because now we're dealing with alternate universe. But it seems like both timelines are acceptable, because I've used this example yesterday, I believe, where in Fate Grand Order in Act 2, there's something called like the timeline tree or something, where there is a canon main routes, and then from there branches off where things that can happen or whatever, and builds up from there. Branches that stem too far away from the main timeline are culled or cut. They're trimmed. So that's why in Fate's Day Night, you can have the 3 routes, and they all are technically valid, except, Heaven's Feel is the most valid of them all, and probably the most truest timeline. But anyways, with this, because both endings of essentially of us becoming friends or forging a stronger friendship with Lyrna, and then this one where he becomes friends with Longque, are what I believe the overall grand timeline finds acceptable. That they do not need to reset the universe, they do not need to try to kill the MC in any way possible. It is, nope, this is valid. Like, it legitimately gives you valid for that ending. So with that, there are 2 Longques we meet, and they are both Longque. The events that made Longque the way they are, we do not know, or at least I do not know, or will never be touched on. I don't know. But again, we can trust Longque, but at the same time, we cannot trust Longque. It just depends on what part of the tree you're on. All right, what am I getting messages on? Oh, it's Pivot. He's reading Actually Homestuck. We'll look at Pivot. Trying to, what's the word? Co-op this stream, you motherfuckers. After a solid 5 seconds, all right. Lyrna's face is bright green and is now bugging out of her skull from how flustered she is. But she's not into it? You don't yeah. That line she said at the end was meant to be a reflection of this, because they like to do that where if you're on another ending that's typically not the correct one, they make like a jab essentially at the proper ending to give you kind of a hint of what's supposed to go on. It's hard to tell, but you kind of get the impression he'd be dead by now if she weren't. Either way, it's awkward. Lucky for Lyrna, Longque either doesn't notice or doesn't care. He settles into a comfortable, for him, posture of his arm casually around Lion's waist and turns to you. Oh, who's this? This is my friend? Yeah. Andre quirks an eyebrow. You have friends? Oh, the question seems to leave Lyrina speechless. It will say, when do the grayskin people show up at the halfway point of Act 3? I really hope this won't happen, but just the thought, just you saying that, just it made me feel like, why do I feel like Pivot will say that during Act 6 of all things? And it's just like, Pivot, what the fuck do you mean? And then, like, for some reason, he just didn't put 2 and 2 together, and just like, you just have like 5 words for him. And he's like, oh shit, no, you're right. The question seems to leave Aaron's speechless. Longer takes opportunity to look back at you. His eyes rake up and down your body in a way that leaves you feeling distinctly objectified. Oh, aren't you interesting? There's a reason you look like that. Stop predicting my future. My future is mine and no one else's, specifically not me in the future. He doesn't know anything about me. I wanted to scream right there. All right, Carcat. I wanted to scream that so fucking bad. Oh, you motherfucker. Is there any reason you look like that? What a question. Doesn't explain what that is specifically referring to. I still don't know who that is. And given both your alien status and your state address, it could mean any number of things. You might take it as an insult, if not for the way he licks his lips after he says it. He can't seem to pry his eyes off you. You look at Lyrina for a cue, but she's too out of it to give you any sort of intelligible sigh. So you just explain how you crash landed on this alien planet in an indeterminate amount of time ago, and you don't really know what you're doing or much of anything about anything. The fact of your appearance could be due either to this or that you're generally disaster of being irrespective of your planetary origins. How fascinating. I've never met an alien before. Well, you have lots of times. In fact, literally everyone and everything here is alien to you. You find your word diarrhea becoming more and more awkward and embarrassing as Longquay's eyes start burning a hole in the center of your chest. There's no need to be shy. I don't bite until last. Longquay disconnects himself from Larian as he rounds on you. It's like he's lost an interest in your existence now that you're in front of him. Lionel looks at you with a completely pathetic expression that really informs you as to what your response needs to be. You'll be damned if you aren't going to be the best wingman possible, so you definitely ignore Longquay's blatant press and turn the conversation back to Lyrina. You ask Longquay how long he and Lyrina have known each other. Longquay raises his eyebrows at the question. Oh, well, I suppose she was the chosen for the cloister. Some number of sweeps ago. I don't remember, really. It was 2.43 sweeps. All right, then. That many, I guess. Huh, it's a pretty long time, actually. Yeah. Pretty impressive that you managed to get a solid 2.4 of them without saying a single word to me that wasn't circulated to me secondhand from your snide gossiping behind my back. Oh, wow. Talk about whiplash. Liner's eyes get big like saucers. What? What are you? I don't know what you're talking about. The tone of the conversation has totally morphed from fire to ice in an instant. Though neither Longquay's expression nor demeanor has changed much, he slips in the knives with all the calm composed for casual statements. What, are you going to pretend you didn't spend the better part of the past 2.5 sweeps complaining about how much I disgusted you? Come now. You do know that everyone's aware you're a nasty little bitch, right, Lyrina? I mean, don't take it the wrong way. I don't really mind. I'm hardly in a position to criticize. I was just curious what caused a sudden change of heart after so long deprived my vain and slaturnia lifestyle. I have the impending ordeal has finally made the low clock start to tick down in that dry, dusty nook of yours. Did you figure I was the only one who might be loose enough to be willing to clean out the cobwebs before you get shipped off to Space Church and never have the chance again? Just wondering. There's a long, excruciating moment where Lyrna says nothing. He just stares up at Longweb beside her with a completely shell-shocked expression. Before you can try to pipe up Lyrna's defense, she bursts into tears. Oh no. Lyrna suddenly turns and makes a mad dash to run out the door and away from the party. You're torn between running after her and giving this jerk a real piece of your mind. Your mind made up, you look back at Longwei just in time to catch him rolling his eyes. Hey, you say, that's kind of rude, don't you think? Longwei snorts. Me? Rude? Are you perhaps attempting to fuck with me? Clearly you haven't spent much time around this bitter pill if you think that was anything sort of precisely what she deserves. You can see you maybe don't have a full enough grasp on Jade Blood Cloister social dynamics to make a definitive judgment of whether or not Lyrna deserved to have been so ruinously owned. So who's your friend? And what good are you if you don't stick up for the people you care about? No idea what even got her up so upset. Like I said, it's not like I really care about what she says about me. But you don't get to spend as much time as she does being a venomous little snake and act surprised when someone calls you out on it. Then why did you invite her, you ask? It seems needlessly cruel of Longwei to lead her on under false pretenses. You never intended to be her friend at all. I promise you I had no such designs. The only reason I ever invited her to this thing is that my ex is being a real blood-sucking bitch and no one else wanted to go. I was willing to give her an honest shot, but I have no time for a vicious, slathering nag who can't even admit what she is. I thought it might be interesting to see what that crusty little shrew might be like if you could manage to wrest her balls free of whatever excruciating knot she got tied into it. But I guess we'll never know. Well, this is clearly a conversation you're going to have to Switzerland out of pretty soon. What? Try to explain the historical significance of Switzerland's political neutrality on your home planet. Longwei's eyes glaze over like he's listening to you recite a sports almanac of cricket stats. That's nice. Anyway, since I seem to have scared away my date, why don't you stay a while so you and I can get to know each other a little better? Seem much more interesting than she is anyway. When did Longwei get so close to you? Your heart beats a little faster when he smiles at you like that. So poisonous and shamelessly laced with intent. Lyrna is definitely not the only one coming off like a snake here. I have less time to waste than most, my dear. Never seen the value in beating around the bush. Well, maybe it'd be socially prudent for you to go after Lyrna makes sure she's okay. But it's also not her value for the Friendsim. So instead of doing what you're going to stick around, you're going to stick around and see what's this spectacular, breary prima donna is all about. You had your fucking chance to bail out of this shit show. But all that's left now is to do is barrel downhill as meteorically as you can manage. Fantastic. Care to dance? Why the fuck not? Longwei laughs pleasantly and reaches out to take you by the hand. The contact gives you a little thrill despite yourself. He's got nice hands, soft and warm and well taken care of. And you know it's going to be one hell of a ride wherever he's taking you. Come with me. You do. He doesn't lead you straight to the dance floor, though. He takes you around the throng of dancing partygoers over to the kitchen of the house first. You weren't expecting to find a familiar face waiting for you there. Fancy meeting you here. You don't find it that surprising, honestly. You two know each other. You could say that. That's just great. Do you give discounts to friends? I sure fucking don't. You know the price, pretty boy. Pay up. You're a little confused. What is being purchased here exactly? Oh, it gives you a funny look. Is it drugs? You a drone? What? Hush. You do as you're told and watch as Longwei and Elward carry out their shady transaction. Longwei hands over the credits and receives an opaque little bag of something in return. Oh well, you guess you don't really need to see what's in the bag to figure out what it is at this point. As soon as the deal is done, Longwei has his hand at the small of your back and is definitely guiding you away from the scene of the crime. Is buying drugs a crime here? I'm not really well versed about the laws alternative, but it honestly doesn't really seem like anybody would give much of a shit about anybody doing drugs out here. You guess the clandestine transactions are just for aesthetic? Oh. Longquay's got you back in the shady corner of the party and is pressing one of the tablets he bought into your hand with a sly grin. He expects you to join in. You're like, hold on a minute. Your experiences with alien drugs haven't been that great, honestly. You're not sure you're that excited for a repeat performance. Longquay's immediate response is a sneer. Oh, I see. You're one of those people. One of what people? You know, a bit boring, maybe. Can feel the pain, yeah. The remaining words take you to describe you, but you don't think boring is a remote contender. You're always doing all kinds of unbelievably stupid shit and getting into uncountable, wacky, life-threatening situations. Is it really that fucking much to ask for there to be one time you don't rush headfirst into doing something you know is going to fuck you up and be totally awful? Longway's lips press into a thin, annoyed line. These things aren't cheap, you know. I bought them for you. Well, you didn't ask me to do that, did you? Oh, come on, you're really going to be like this? Yes. You totally are. Longquist sighs dramatically. Fine. Longquist casts around for the nearest victim and grabs his attention with a hand around his waist. To your dismay, it's your sweet and innocent for hot dog chum, Damien. Also, there's nothing you can do to stop him from falling prey to Longquist's wicked design. Here, have these. Oh yeah, great. Thanks. I'd love to put drugs in my wiener. What a tragedy. But before you know it, Longquay has a hold of you again and is dragging you off. Let's just dance. You're not too much of a square to do that, are you? Of course not. Dancing is basically the one thing you actually plan to come here and do. So that's just great. I love putting drugs on my wiener. You go along Longquay enthusiastically when he pulls you over to the writhing mass of bodies bumping and grinding on the dance floor. You get... Oh, yeah, man, slip. Yeah. Oh, look at me. You know, when that clown took you up, I'm just going to say, you know, he was a great friend. He was a great fucking friend. Maybe even the best of them, honestly. This guy, he's like, oh, look at me. My arms are up. Haha. Does this remind you of, like, was the last chapter? No, it was 2 chapters ago, I think. Yeah, 2 chapters ago. And, no. There's a certain word I want to call this guy, and I'm going to tell you, it's not friend. You get down to it. You discover that Longquay has a very interesting dance style. And by interesting, you mean it primarily consists of directly grinding his body against yours in an incredibly shameless fashion. But pressed in as you are from all sides by sweaty and inebriated bodies, there's just not much room for troll Gigas to begin with. Longquay is up on you so close, it's Fred. Marvis. Was that his name? Marvis? Marvis literally went against the fates itself and just kept trucking. Like, that was one where the universe itself had to collapse for, like, you to lose that ending. And Marvis just kept being a champ throughout that whole section. Like, Marvis, quite literally to me, and also I squeak there, you know, because I'm a 28-year-old man who still apparently hasn't hit puberty, you know. So when Marvis does that, you know, he's like comforting you the whole time to be like, don't worry, it's chill, don't worry. It's like, you're scared, I understand, don't worry, I'm with you. And anyways, the universe and all it wants, fuck that noise. It's all right. His stare is nearly hypnotic, so blatant it's undistinguished in his expression. It's clear what he wants, and maybe that's more than you're prepared to give. When he looks at you like that, it's impossible to look away. Just look away. You just go with it. Why not? It feels good, and it's not like anyone else is watching. You're surrounded by patrols, boxed in and pouring sweat, and yet it feels like you're the only two there. Lanqua draws in, teeth by your ear, and this close, you can hear him easily, even over the overwhelming pound of the bass. You have the palest skin I've ever seen. Yeah, you tell him you're literally FFFF white, which is like blank. That makes you super racially inoffensive, by FYI. You let Longquay know he can see you any way he wants, which is even more woke than making a decision. Okay, thin as paper. You can see all the way inside of you. All your veins and your red blood. Oh, are you a rainbow drinker? You smell like candy. Wonder how you taste. Oh, you're a rainbow drinker. Oh, yeah, that sounds like some shit a vampire would say. Presuming I'm a rainbow drinker would be an awfully reductive and little reading of my character. I'm just making a blatant sexual pass. Nah. You're a vampire. He sucks. Oh god, he's gonna suck me. Oh, okay. Good thing that's all cleared up. You take this opportunity to really let loose, showing off everything you've got in the sexy dance acumen department. Longway's a little bewildered. What are you doing? You're like, what aren't I doing? There's a fire on the dance floor and you struck the match. You're just fucking it up in here, really getting it. Breaking it down, bopping and crumping and whatever. You're smashing your ass into everyone around you and getting hot and heavy with those lusty moves. There's a point where Longway has to step back. You presume to properly uphold your art in all its glory. But it soon becomes clear that it's not your prodigious dance skills that have given him pause. You follow his startled gaze and see the cause for alarm. Ranya's here, and she looks pissed. Ranya, kill him. Oh shit. Ranya is still standing in the entryway, contending with Ardita. It looks like she hasn't caught sight of you yet, but Longway isn't wasting any time. Before you realize what's happening, Longway has you by the wrist and is hauling you away from the dance floor and off down the hallway. Longway finds safety in a bedroom, or sprite block, you remind yourself. When you take stock, the conspicuous absence of any bed and the presence of the revolting-looking slime cocoon in which trolls allegedly spend their repose. You hold each other in a tense and nervous silence, pressed against the locked door. What feels like an eternity passes, your breaths held. The sound of your blood rushing through your own ears, almost enough to drown out the music. Seconds turn to minutes and no one comes to find you. It seems for now you've escaped Ranya's notice. Why is this a bad thing? MC, what the fuck are you on about? When you turn your head to look at Longquay, you find he's been staring at you for some time. I haven't been able to take my eyes off you since the moment I first saw you. You're just so okay. You freeze like a hare staring down a snake. Longquay lifts his hand to rest a thumb across your cheek, fingers curling under your chin. You meet his eyes, his pupils are so black. I want to know what it's like to kiss you. Longquay's tongue darts out to his painted lips. Do you want to kiss me? Whoa. Well, you're already clicked on at least 2 mature content disclaimers to get this far. Why the hell not? Longquay leans in and presses his lips against yours. He kisses you much more sweetly than he looks. His lips are soft and wet and taste like blackberries. This beats making out with a couple of greasy teens behind a dumpster, that's for sure. When one of his sharp fangs nicks your bottom lip, you don't even care. But when a drop of your blood beads out into his face of tons, Longquay drawings back just an inch. Oh, put clown music? Oh, you got it, champ. We can fucking do that. Hell yeah. Let's get rid of the Undertale Yellow Trial by Fury song and put on clown music. What's a good clown song? What's the song called? Like the Gladiator song, whatever. You know what? No, we can just go with Old Reliable. Let me just do this real quick. I'm gonna turn this down to 6. You taste sharp and dangerous like a weapon. Is that a good thing? Not a bad thing. Longo pulls back further. His hands slip from your cheek and his fingers trail down your neck to rest on your collar, thumb brushing against the thrum of your pulse. Have you ever paled before? Longo shrugs off his jacket and starts unbuttoning his shirt. Wow. Is this really gonna go there? You're like, whoa, no, you've never done any alien intercourse with a bucket, but it doesn't look like he even has one on him at the moment. That was apparently the wrong thing to say because Longo's face scrunches up in displeasure. Don't mock me, it's my first time. You figure laughing constitute mocking him, so you don't, but the look you give him seems to say enough. Us Jades who live in the cloister have been chosen for a very special duty. We're expected to adopt a chaste and ascetic life in service to the continuation of our species. When we undergo ordeals and we're sent off world, there's no such thing as sneaking out of the caverns. If I don't do this now, when? My life is nearly over. Will you help me feel alive? But before you can answer, Bronny's voice starts to rise shrill above the heavy music. Long way! Long way hands shoot out at lightning speed to draw you close before you can make so much as gasp. He presses one of his palms over your mouth to keep you quiet. Oh shit, she's close, and from the sound of it, she's getting closer. Long way! I know you're here. You need to come out and come home right now. Longway leans in close to your ear. What will you do? Longway? I sense you to testicular torsion. What the fuck, dude? Longway tries to scramble away from you to make some sort of last-ditch effort to escape, but it's no use. Bronny hears you and comes running, furious. She hulks the locked door off its hinges before you can even get up to let her in. You duck, flying chunks of alien architecture and scuttle off to avoid what you might fear be further alien fists. Longway. As angry she voices, some of the freer it goes out of her face. The moment her gaze lands on Longway's state of partial undress, she reflexively brings up a hand to shield her eyes. What in the world? Put your clothes back on right this... Well... Longway? What in the world? Put your clothes back on right this instant, young man. Longway freezes where he stands, apparently accepting that he's been caught. There's nowhere left to run. If he doesn't intend to fling himself out a window, a smear unclosed on his face. Oh, please, save the Purity Act. Like there's anything you haven't seen a dozen times before. Ron, your face goes bright, Jade. What? What in the world are you implying? I would never. Forget Lyrina. You've always been the craziest bitch in the whole cloister. You know you aren't actually our Lucis, right? Brian marches right up to Longway and slaps him hard across the face. Longway makes an ungood fight noise as he recoils from the blow. It looks like that really hurt. His face is sticking bright under the handprint. He forces out a strained laugh. My word, Branya. If you want to join us, all you do is ask. Damn, wish you had some popcorn right now. You just kind of sit back and take it all in. Longway invective has its apparent desired effect. Brian is all but steaming at this point, hands balled and fists at her side. You kind of want to say hi to your friend, but she's a little preoccupied, it seems. I am not going to rise to your petty baiting. You know you're in the wrong here. We've spoken time and time again about recklessly sneaking out to these parties, and now you're dragging Lyrina into this mess. Lyrina told me about the things you've been saying and doing to her, and it's completely unacceptable, Lonquay. You've had more than enough lectures about the way you treat your flesh quadrant partners, and it absolutely needs to stop. You're coming back with me to the cloister right now. When we're home, we're going to have one last serious talk about this. If things aren't changed, there are going to be consequences. Eventually, Brania, overbearing, following, seems to finally break Lonquay down. He sighs, shoulders slumped, and rolls his eyes. Fine, fine. Brania crosses his arms indignantly. She waits for Lonquay to finish fixing his clothes. Lonquay buttons his shirt, puts back on his jacket and his tie. Then he has to go retrieve his palm musk, which he seems to have discreetly slid over to where you're standing. Casually saunters his way over, and instead of picking up his device, snatches yours out of your hand. Hey, I've got to go, but let me give you my shitter information. We can pick up where we left off later, sweetheart. Brian is some sort of grab Lonquay by the ear and drags him away. Not before he's finished putting his shitter contact in your palm musk. Shoves it back into your hand, mouths the "see you later," and then is fully hauled out of the room. Hypocrite! You need to shut your mouth. And then they're gone. Friendship accomplished, you guess? All right. I'm glad Branya exists. All right, and now purple. Oh, they switch. Barzum and Basil, or Basley. Barzum and Basley. Gotten pretty good at the old friend making game by now, but even an old hand at paling around like you, a real platonic Lothario, has bad nights sometimes. Tonight was one of those nights. Getting close to morning and not a new friend in sight. You've met new people, sure, but none of your conversations had panned out the way you wanted them to. Every interaction had come to a close with your friend count no higher than where you started, no matter how many compliments, offers to help, and other tried and true friending strategies you've whipped out. You won't stand for it. You're determined to finish out the night with at least one more new friend buddy's name in your little black friendship book. But if the sun's about to rise, you have to admit you're cutting it a little close. As each minute ticks by, the sky gets a little lighter, and the possibility of dying in agonizing fury death gets higher. Maybe it's be best for you to just pack it in and find somewhere to spend the day. Pick up your trusty palm musk and call up one of your many friends you already have to ask if you can crash. Hell, maybe Skylo will put up for sharing a Raccoon again. The soothing news has kind of grown on you, and sleeping next to Skyla makes you feel so safe and comfy. It's like they took the words right out of my brain and put them onto parchments. Turns out Skyla's more than down if you coming over. Time to make tracks. You turn tail and hurry in the direction of Skyla's digs, but it's not long until you run into a distraction. That distraction is the form of a house. It's a dark, crooked thing, hulking close to the grounds, slated walled wood walls, sloping roofs, vines clinging to it like dust, and cobwebs cling to forgotten things in an attic. Something about it feels off. It possesses a certain energy that sends shivers up your spine, making your hair stand on end. An instinct deep in your gut, an instinct deep in your gut is telling you to give it a wide berth. On the other hand, it's shelter. Skyla's place is a ways off yet, while the house is right here in front of you. It could be worth seeing if whoever lives here is willing to put up with you for the day. No fucking way. No, I'm not gay. No. I'm sorry. No. We've already been through this. Yeah, no, that's not happening. Didn't you just establish that this place gives you the heebiest of jeebies? Plus, there's always a chance that the inhabitant will call instead of help you. You're sticking to your original plan. Thank you very much. Skyla, I'm coming home. Firmly ignoring the house, you continue on your way. You make good progress for a while. Your map app says you're heading in the right direction, except... Oh, what the fuck? Why are you here again? Did you take a wrong turn somewhere? Whatever, you're not going to dwell on it. Time's running out. You need to get away from this stupid house. Pronto. You'll make sure to do it right this time. You'll go to Skyla's house. Okay, you split, breaking into a jog. The scenery flicks past you as you pick up the pace, urgency spurring you on. It gets even lighter. Won't be long now. What? Check your palm of skin. You're right back where you started, even though just a moment ago the map GPS put you at a distant distance away. This is ridiculous. There's obviously something weird going on, but the suns are creeping over the horizon. Time's up. Nothing else for it. You make your way towards the house, even though everything inside you is screaming at you to stay away. Even though every step you take. Oh, wait, give me a second. Options. No, music is on. Got it. Even though with every step you take, your chest tightens and your hands tremble. By the time you reach the door, you're shaking like a leaf. Adrenaline zings through you. You could choke on it. You want to run, but you force yourself to keep moving forward. A slow motion race between you and the sunrise. At this rate, the sun will make it all the way up into the sky before you can knock. Drag yourself the rest of the way, stumbling onto the front step. The door knocker is an intricate yet grotesque thing, an undulating tongue lolling out of a set of sharp teeth all in cast iron. You grab the lumpy end of the tongue and bang it against the door. Nothing. Fuck. Maybe we'll get lucky and the door will just open? Out of options. Reach out and turn the doorknob. You can feel the first licks of sunlight against the back of your neck. Is it just you, or is your skin starting to blister? But today is your lucky day. The door opens. You feel overjoyed at your life being spared. Instead, your focus is fully on how the roiling in your belly has bloomed fully into nausea. In the distance, inexplicably, is the peal of sirens, an incessant whining noise that only continues getting louder. You shouldn't have come here, but it's not like you had another choice. You might as well see what awaits you inside, but as soon as you cross the threshold, the world lurches and you pass out. You come into you come to in different you come to in different You come to in a different room than the foyer, head ringing like someone just whacked it. When you move to sit up, there's a sound of skittering all around you. Hundreds of tiny insects are scurrying away to safety. Have you been roving the floor while you were knocked out? Gross. You prop yourself up back on your hands and take a look around. Your impromptu nap has done nothing to assuage the deep sense of wrongness you have about this place. Hey, maybe you managed to sleep through the day. Maybe the sun has set again, so you can get the hell out of here. The sense of optimism is misplaced, probably, but it's not as if you can check. There are no windows. You cast your eyes around the room. Underneath the floral, peeling wallpaper, the walls are riddled with damp and mold. On the other side of the room, an open door. Thank fuck. You weren't locked in then. You can go look for somewhere else in the place that might have a damn window. Let's see. You step into a long, winding corridor. It's so cramped you feel almost as though the walls are closing in. While it's been warm enough outside, in here a deep chill settles over you. Sinking deep into your bones, you're half convinced you'll never be warm again. Emanating from somewhere you can't see is music, tiny and rhythmic. It's soon interrupted by a crackling noise, like someone trying to tune in to the correct radio station. Then one of the picture frames lights up. Looks like da, 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 looks like it was actually some sort of TV screen. Welcome. Welcome. We're glad you're awake. Then that you came to visit us. We've been really, really, really bored in the stinky old house. It really sucked. We could have just died from how boring it was. The two, one monotonous and quiet. You can barely hear it. The other shrill, dramatic, like its owner never learned the meaning of the words indoor voice. Catching what the quieter person is saying isn't made any easier by the high-pitched giggling that starts up in the background whenever you start speaking. So hurry and find us. We want to play a game. Gee, why do those words give you such a profound sense of deja vu? The line goes dead. At the same time, a door pops open at the other end of the corridor. You're meant to go through it, you guess. You'd rather go somewhere else, anywhere else, other than through that door, but there's nowhere else to go. Or is there? Search for another exit. No, there has to be something else here. Ignoring the voice's directions, you examine the walls of the corridor instead. Soon enough, you notice something funny about one of the paintings. A frame seems much thicker than the others, which strikes you as somehow suspicious. Wheeling along its bottom edge reveals a button. You push it. There's a groaning sound, and the part of the wall folds in itself away, revealing a tunnel of some sort. You knew it. You're so focused to try and make your escape that you rush through the opening without looking. If you had been more careful, you might have noticed one very important thing. Past this doorway, there is no floor. Your feet meet thin air, sending you pitching downwards. Drat, you think, as you plunge towards the pit of knives beneath you. You've reached a follower milestone on Shitter the other day too, and you hadn't gone around to bequeathing it to any of your friends in case something like this happened. Your final regretful thoughts are of your account, dusty and abandoned with no one there to continue to update it after you're gone. Game over. Your wariness only intensifies once you set off down the hall because the walls start fucking bleeding. You've seen enough Pro Blood at this point to be able to recognize it. Multicolored streams ooze over the wall paint and faded portraits lining the wall, collecting, congealing in sticky, viscous puddles on the floor. The narrow hallway becomes steep from the stench of copper. You walk faster, but the streams of blood follow you, sluicing down from the ceiling as quick as you walk. You reach the door, eager to get away from the grisly sight. You throw it open, but oh god, you consider what might be waiting for you behind it. One of those two shady characters plan to torture you, tie you up and steal your palm husk, texting embarrassing messages to your friends while you can only look in horror, helpless and unable to intervene. Anything by that, but that. Look at that. Someone trying to sell some views. Fascinating. Truly. Let's see. Alright, looks like Pivot's Lizanka is probably talented with piano. It's too dark to see anything. All I can do is fumble and feel around with your hand. Getting out of the room again is a no-go. The door swung shut behind you as soon as you stepped inside. You stumble forward on wobbly legs. The floor feels unstable somehow, like it's going to open up and swallow you at any moment. It would be a good idea to call to see if anyone's here. You manage a feeble hello. Your voice echoes. Soft laughter reverberates back in response. Catch a glimpse of something from the corner of your eye. Flash purple. There's a sensation of eyes on the back of your neck watching you. But you can't discern where the other presence in the room is. If there even is one. You kind of hate this. Of all the shitty welcomes you've received, this one takes the cake. You have to get out of here. You try to get... Actually, let me see this. Try to gather your panicked thoughts together to formulate a plan. Before you can do anything, a series of ropes appear seemingly from nowhere, pulling tight around you and holding you down. You're finally here. We've been waiting for you. A light comes on. It's not the warm, burning rays of sunlight. This room is windowless too, but a spotlight, bright and harsh. It lights up a broad swath of the room, bleaching it white and sending long shadows stretching away from it. You can see your captors more clearly now. 2 purple blood kids. Aside from their expressions, they look exactly the same. A manic glint sparkles in the eyes of one of them, as sharp as his razor-bladed teeth. The other looks more hesitant, almost sad. We're Baisley and Barzum. You're the alien, ain't ya? You look weird. Your body's real weird. We wonder what color your blood is, or how springy and slimy your acid tubes are. They squirm around like slither beasts when we slice open trolls' bellies. Are yours the same? You struggle against your bond. You have no idea what acid tubes are, but you much rather they stay inside your body where they belong, thanks. You thought you'd moved past the days where you had to serve as a torture moppet. All you need was a few hours sheltered from the sun, and if it's safe to go outside again, you'd really like to leave. There we go. That was the wrong thing to say, apparently. The twins leer at you disapprovingly. Well, one of them looks so disappointed you might burst into tears. The other just looks pissed. No way. We told you. We've been so bored. You know what it's like to be all alone with no one else to play with? Or wipes? You might have each other. We're never truly alone. That's what makes being us so great. But it's a little difficult to play pranks on someone who always knows what you're thinking and feeling. But you thought Barzan was a quiet one and Baisley was the loud one. But it looks like they were mistaken. Or did they switch? If you weren't faced with the prospect of having your innards yanked out and played with by bloodthirsty children, you might be more puzzled by their statement. As it stands, you have more pressing problems in your mind right now, so their words more or less fly over your head. You squirm harder, even though it doesn't do any good. In fact, it just seems to make the twins madder, sadder. You settle on smatter. Stop trying to get away. It's always like this. Nobody ever wants to play with us. We hate it. Now hold still. You look at them beseechingly, trying to appear as small and helpless as possible. Maybe it's a little pathetic giving puppy dog eyes to little children, but you lost track of your own dignity a long time ago. They're not really going to do this, right? A noise starts up. It sounds especially like a chainsaw. And is it just you, or is there the scent of raw meat in the air? Where the hell is it coming from? You're straining in your bonds, stomach clenching in fear, bile raising at the back of your throat. They're not actually gonna hurt you, right? Oh god, oh god, oh god. You wake up gasping, but you aren't strapped down anymore. You're in the same room that you were in at the beginning. What happened? The room hasn't changed since you've been gone. There's only one way out. You really, really don't want to step through the door again. What else can you do? Step through the door. There's that radio crackling again. Welcome. We're glad you're awake. The little green grows on like it did just before. A pre-recorded message, perhaps? Your heart pounds as you step through the second door. You hoping you'll be able to sidestep the ropes this time, but instead of getting tied up, you trip forward into a vat of what feels like glue. You are lucky enough to have your face away from the stickiness, so your nose is still above the surface, so you can breathe. For now anyway, but you can't move. Finally here, we've been waiting for you. They're acting like it was the first time all over again. What is this fuckery? Are they messing with you? You already met mere minutes ago. No, we would have remembered. Meaning a weirdo like you. Stop trying to trick us. Everything goes black for a third time. Here you are again. Are they for real? This time you get shoved into a box. You're pretty sure you passed out while you're in the middle of being buried alive. You come to in the room you're beginning to think of as yours yet again. You pass out 5 times, 10. You begin to lose count. You never pass out the same point during the twins' shenanigans, but it inevitably happens. You always end up right back where you started. The worst part is that while your conversation with the twins stays the same, the way they trap you changes. You get trues upside down from the ceiling, dunked into a water tank, scrabbling to get out while your lungs begin to burn from lack of air. Every time you black out before you can die, but you've almost died dozens of times by now, and it's really beginning to stress you out. You have to be stuck in some sort of time loop. This sort of thing in movies all the time, and everyone knows that movies are the best points of reference for one's actual life. The hero wakes up to the strains of an old pop song playing on the radio and reminisces over their childhood journals, which sends them back in time when they have to stop a crime before it happens. Or maybe you're just thinking of a different movie. Anyway, your point is that you have to find a way out of the loop. Hopefully you won't have to do anything too wild like stab your past self and then throw your own bloodied corpse down the window. That would really, really blow. Fortunately, you can't seem to find any clues indicating what you should do next. You always pass out. The twins are always excited to play with flash torture you. They don't seem to be aware that any of this is happening from what you can tell. After around 20-something or other, you've had it. Enough is enough. You can't take any more gilling, any more of that hard damn floor, any more excruciating games. You might not be any closer to figuring out what to do, but you have to try something. There's one thing you've been doing wrong, making this all about escape. You've been so preoccupied with all not getting sliced pieces of knives and everything that you've lost track of what's truly important. The word that echoes in your heart when you rise at dusk and pulses through your bloodstream during the rest of your waking hours until it's time to go to sleep. The word that's ticked off every single narrative you've starred in thus far. Friendship. You'll do things differently this time. You're going to bring yourself to truly care about these creepy clown children. God damn it, even if it's the last thing you do, with the way things are going, it very well might be. Their MO is oddly benign this time, a tickling machine. Unfortunately, it's a little difficult for you to talk to them through all the laughter. What are those noises you're making? I think they're trying to tell us something. Miraculously, the tickling stops. You wheeze, trying to catch your breath, hoping to God you hadn't peed. Managed not to wet yourself out of fear until now. It'd just be the worst to have broken your streak due to laughing too hard. What is it about clowns and you divesting your body of waste? After assuring yourself that your underwear is blessedly dry, you ask, if they kill you, won't they just be alone again? How's that beneficial for anyone? They'll be bored and you'll be dead, which you would really rather not be. Their creeping, saturnine smiles transform into matching expressions of confusion. Barzum puts a finger to her chin, cocking her head to one side as if in deep thought, almost like a puppy. Under any other circumstances, you might even consider this cute. What are you talking about? We don't want to kill you. Maybe just cut you a little. You'll heal right back up again. Don't be such a wiggler. Some of the things they've tried to inflict on you definitely had taken more of your regular human healing functions to recover from. But wait, you think back to immediately taking a whole ass club in her side and acting like it was no big deal. She said something about being higher blood colors being able to take more of a beating too. Are the twins assuming that that's the case for everyone? God, this is what happens when all the adults in society go off planet and leave a bunch of zoo animals to bring up their kids. Oh well. Trolls also solve most of their problems by killing each other. Can't discount that either, you suppose. Take a closer look at the twins. There isn't any malice in either of their faces. The only emotion you can discern is idle curiosity. So I take that as encouragement. From that, no, you won't heal up from being sliced open, or from an on-file scuttle buggy being flung at your head, because you're a human, and humans heal differently from trolls. Well, differently from high-blood trolls, at least. You even use your best babysitter voice for good measure. You feel like you're giving a stern talking to about the importance of taking care of one's toys so they don't break. Instead, you propose, why don't you be friends? You can all play together instead of you being a subject of their torment. They'll be able to play with you for longer that way, too. They give you a strange look. Friends? What's that? Do people not agree to be their playmates very often? No. Usually everyone runs in the other direction. So we have to catch them, or trick them. That explains a lot. You think you're beginning to understand. If they let you down, you could try and show them what you have in mind. They do. They actually free you. They turn all the lights on in the room too, so you can finally see everything in it. It's bigger than you expected. Set up like a... I'm gonna look at this. Oh, they got a popcorn machine. Bigger than you expected, and set up like a circus tent. A wire is suspended along the ceiling. A person-sized target board rotates at dizzying speeds against the back wall. Juggling clubs, knives, scarves, and other props are piled across the floor. You recognize a few of the mechanisms that had inflicted on you before. It's pure chaos. So, what else do they do with all this stuff? They're just staring at you as if they aren't sure how to deal with you engaging with them voluntarily. You're feeling pretty tentative yourself. This whole interaction seems incredibly precarious. You're afraid that if you make a misstep, you'll end up back in the tickling rack again. This is ours. You just found it when we got here. But it does look a lot like what's in our hive. We can do shows and stunts. All kinds of cool stuff. Fuck, even when they aren't threatening you, the way they talk in chorus like that freaks you out a little. Perfect unison, like they're one voiced instead of two. Shake off your fears and insist that they show you a little something. Seem to like the idea. Excitedly, they scurry over the target board. One twin stands against it while the other picks up a handful of throwing knives. You're anxious. You don't exactly want them to rough each other instead of you, but Barzum just throws the knives in a graceful arc. They surround Basiley perfectly, barely missing him. You gasp, your mouth a perfect O. The twins seem pleased with themselves, laughing together like they're sharing a secret. If you think that's impressive, watch this. They execute a sick flip on a pair of trapezes above a bed of swords, making a daring escape from one of the contraptions they trapped you in. They move similar to how they speak, perfectly in tandem with each other. The variety of obsessions you've seen among your friends, it figures that it was only a matter of time until you met someone who made a hobby of risking their lives. It's not too out there compared to cage fighting, I suppose, or collecting saucy East Alternian figures. You could have just escaped from the trap we put you in earlier, you know. Why didn't you? You'll have mercy. You hadn't exactly had much practice, and maybe it would have been easier if you had someone else help you. Look at the two of them potentially. You didn't even realize siblings were a thing among trolls, let alone twins. Sibling? What's that? You know, someone you share a lucis with? Someone you hatch with in the same clutch? Are you phrasing that right? We do share a lucis. We share everything. We didn't just hatch from the same clutch. We hatched from the same egg, too. We were going to be a single troll, but we split in two. Just our bodies, though. Our minds are still one. One person, two bodies. We're one and the same. Okay, maybe siblings aren't a thing alternative after all. Being literally the same person is quite a bit different from the human concept of twins or siblings. Somehow this leads them to telling you all about a number of exploits they had with some of the other kids in the neighborhood. One story led to another, and soon you're recounting some of your own adventures too. They particularly love your attempt to giving an impression of Nikki, clapping and crowing as you get into a dramatic power stance and flex your flimsy muscles. Can't help but feel a little proud of yourself. You're the guy in Jurassic Park who walked into the Velociraptor den and all, "Be chill, my dudes." They actually listened to him. Besides, there's something great about making kids laugh, even kids who are trying to murder you less than an hour ago. The twins are in the middle of talking about a prank they play that they found hilarious, and that they've been trying hard not to grimace in horror at when you feel it. Certain change in the air. They didn't mention they had been stuck here. Did we? Yes, we have. When we try to get out of the door, some sort of force pushes us back. You're the first person we've ever seen since we got here. You have a hunch that might have changed. Why don't you all try again? They look at you skeptically. If you want. It's not going to be any different, though. You tell them to trust you. You look at the front door. The twins are crowding from you from either side, clinging onto your arms and edging so close it's like they're trying to burrow into you. Ready? They nod. You push against the door. It opens and you breathe in the cool evening air. Not so fast. We've gone this far before, but we won't be able to go any further. You'll see. Take one step, then another. As you look beyond the grounds of the house, you see things you hadn't seen when you first got here. Mountains in the distance, other houses. Before, all you could see was shrubbery. You pick up the pace. The house falls away behind you, disappearing into the fog. Whoa! You did it. You actually did it. You can finally leave. They swoop in to grab you, hugging you hard. Curving horns in their mask almost stab you in the cheek. These things are a bit of a hazard when their wearers only come up to you from where their chest is. They keep talking before you get a word in, pulling you forwards and shuffling you along between them. It looks like you were right. It wasn't just enough to save yourself. You had to save them, too. You don't know how, but the key to making this little path of universe obey the rules of reality once more was friendship all along. Haha. You should have seen your face. You were shit your gam tubes terrified. You have a sigh as your incessant giggling surrounds you like so many playful ghosts. Yes, you say, very clever. They are the ones behind all the nonsense words today. Started guessing somewhere towards the end, the you wiggle your hands vaguely all the time stuff. They sure scared you all right. No, that wasn't us. We were talking about the bloody walls and creepy sounds. None of that was real. That was all us. That was all. Chuckle voodoo. Wait, what? Chuckle voodoos. Okay. We're the best at chuckle voodoos. We got you so good. They both bounce beside you excitedly. You blink down at them. You have no idea what the heck chuckle voodoos are, but you can only guess that it's some sort of illusionary thing. So they didn't have anything to do with time messing up, holding in on itself. No, we told you. We've been trying to get out of that stupid house for wipes. Not even a pedigree. Did you really think that was our hive? Our place is so much cooler than that dump. Is it the actual hive? You have reservations about that, but you can't find it in you to say no as they eagerly pull you along, one twin tugging your hand, the other looping an arm in yours. You look back at the house one last time. You have no idea whether the twins are lying or if they're telling the truth. What really caused what happened here? But right now, you're content even knowing that you never have to see this place ever again. Yes. Of course you do. Your sort of preach your sort of preacher always does. You're worn out. Last night was, well, it was something. You lived, probably. You learned definitely. You made choices you had to. After all the time, here you are still. So after a day of recuperation from ragers and houses of horrors, you're out walking the streets of the place you may as well start calling home. You've changed out of your party gear, opting for your old hoodie standby. Fits the mood you're in. You're not really looking to meet anyone new tonight. Well, like you wouldn't say no, probably. You're just not jonesing in for it. Only a little. It's complicated. After an indeterminable amount of minutes of aimless walking, you look around at where you ended up. You seem to have wandered into a dirt pile. Oh, you know this dirt pile. It's Fozzier's corpse field. Huh. How'd you get here, you wonder? You're pretty sure you're just on the other side of the city with no particular desire to come here anywhere near here. It's probably fine. Just your deep, innate bro holding skills taking over your goddamn body. Just little friendship things. You look around you for your pal Fozzier. Peeking down into a few of the deep holes, you might as well say hello since you're here and all. Holy shit. That again? Curiosity killed the cat, but you've definitely got more than 9 lives. Shoes shrug and slide back gracefully down to the shiny hole. It's oh oh shit. It's this. I didn't exactly understand how this worked in Homestuck, but I remember John used it and he could like not mess up the timeline while also messing up the timeline. I also know, I think also Vriska used it against Lord English as well. And from the ending of Homestuck, like they're still looking for Vriska. Fozzer's already found, but there's a window down here, almost completely unearthed. It doesn't make much effort to get free from the rest of the way. At first, you think it might be some cool new trash you could make art with. When you look closer, you reconsider. There's a whole ass room you can see through the pane of glass lying at your feet. That's weird. Weirdness isn't typically a deterrent for you. You usually, but usually there's at least some causational coherence. Doors are in walls, surround rooms. You aren't used to finding parlors and ditches. They are basically the frames of the comic. You can jump frame to frame to put it. Okay. A window into another frame, but a frame is a frame. Oh, okay. So that's why John's able to mess with the panel because he is just altering the panel itself. And that's why when he appears or whatever, it's just like it's literally just booping him in there essentially. It's like you copy and pasted an image and just put it there. So like that's why we can go to the previous panels or whatever, the previous pages. And John is able to insert himself rather easily and change the events, more or less. There a latch or something? Should you do a polite little knock? There might be friends in there. Damn, you could really go for some friends right now. Is there a protocol for approaching ditch window? Allow me to stop you there. I am a timeless being of the void, but even my patience has its limits. Fun is fun, but this frivolous navel gazing is no longer necessary. Come in from behind the shadow of that narrative text. It's so very hard to see your face. You aren't sure where you are, and it's unsurprising a little nerve wracking. You look over your shoulder at the window. You guess you just fucking came on through? The train sky is framed by the edge of your dirt hole. The knot in your stomach loosens a bit. Hopefully that means it's a two-way portal. Why are you back? Unless this is before Homestuck. You turn to look at your surroundings and oh, there's someone here. The guy you just heard, you assume. Doesn't look like any of the other aliens you've met. No, I am not an alien. Or no more than any us are alien to each other. In fact, nothing is alien to me. The root concept behind that term is alienation, being forced from that which is natural. This theme has been in my playlist since I first heard it. It's called Worst End. Do I not have the music on right now? I'm gonna turn up a bit. I will turn it down if you guys tell me to, if when the music comes on. That's again natural to me. I do look upon all realities as equally inviting and approachable. It's you, my dear, who are out of place. I could see that even if I were not omniscient, which I am. Okay, so not an alien with no horns or cast sign, though. He's definitely not a troll. Whoever he is, he seems to be white, like just really white and round. His outfit is admittedly kind of dope. Looking at him really ramps up your friend thirst. He's just got this quality about him that you got to get with. You take a step toward him almost without thinking about it. Oh, my apologies. That compulsion has been extraneous. Let me take care of it for you. He snaps his fingers and your knees buckle. The force of the universe presses down on you like G forces. You blink, and somehow he's there immediately, arms outstretched to catch you as you fall. He steers you to a chaise lounge, and you drape yourself weakly into it. Please have a seat. The emotional transition might be a tad uncomfortable, but I know you're handled worse. You're quite the soldier. Allow me to be the first to say I'm very pleased with your work. I know exactly what you were going to do, of course, and most of your work was, in fact, my work. Regardless, congratulations are in order. What is this guy talking about? Your work? Try to parse what he's saying, but your body's still shaking from whatever he just did to you. It's hard to think in here. Suddenly, sharply, don't feel friendly towards him at all anymore, or toward anyone. The void left by what that feeling is a freshly gaping horror. It's like who you thought you were caved in on itself. A black hole of personality eating your whole body from the inside. I knew it. I just didn't know it was going to take this turn, though. Because I always thought it was just going to be some entity revolution or whatever. It might still be it, but I'm pretty sure I didn't see the proper end game. Try to pull your shit together. It seems like he means business. There's no time to lose it. No matter if your sense of self is shattering, when you truly reflect on yourself, you surely can't, with any honesty, claim to believe any of this was by your own making. Crash landing on a hostile alien world, surviving the impact, dragging around a half-broken body, and somehow not immediately being eaten by local fauna. Did you learn an alien language just by thinking about it? Very, very hard. Right. Malik said something about that you were speaking perfect Alternian, and it was kind of weird, but you kind of just accepted it. Uh, if you want, send it to me, and then I'll just play it through YouTube. Uh, yeah, because I have the volume up. I'm who knows, something might have happened in the game where just a flag wasn't triggered essentially, or it could just be it's not popping up until late. Yeah, no, I'll just play it right now. All right. So then I'll keep. So let me just turn off game or music audio from here, and then fact check by true red-blooded Americans. That's right. I didn't have the whole story because I wasn't a true patriot. Right. Malik said something about that. That you were speaking perfect Alternian. Some kind of. Also, again, let me know if the music's too loud, too low. I'll adjust as need be. For no good reason. That's your whole deal. Your friends all accepted your quirks. That's what friends do. You say it to convince yourself as much as to prove it to him. So many trolls, so many fascinating aliens, and all of them wanted to know you. Did you really think you managed that on your own laurels? Were they all drawn to your infinite, indefinable something? Jaquinesse Sequoia? Well, yeah. You had this whole emotional arc. You got self-confidence. You grew as a person and helped others to grow. The white text guy doesn't make expressions, but you get the feeling he's looking at you pityingly. I find you sweet. Honestly, I do. I don't intend to cause emotional injury. I'm just telling you the truth. I never lie, you'll find. It isn't like you don't have admirable qualities of your own, of course. You have made quite the valuable vessel for me, and I appreciate that very much. What the fuck do you mean? I could not have done it without you. I am only joking. I absolutely could not have done it without you. It is just infinitely more fun to do these things together, is it not? What things? What did he do? What did he do to you? You hope you didn't do something that would fuck over all your friends. Though when you try to think about them now, the bonds you felt before come up all twisted. Or their artificial friendship drive he'd given you, pushing you forward. You're not even sure what those memories are supposed to feel like. Close your eyes and breathe. You try to remember the way Polly Paw touched your face after you touched hers. Her claws trailing down your cheek. How Tizia slept trusting as you kept watch. How Dagora gave you a chance when he saw something in you didn't even see in yourself. How not that long ago, you got the chitter hand of an extremely friendly jade-blooded boy. Those moments are like the memory of warmth to you now. Blurry, cold, and out of reach. Was all that nothing? Your heart is a chasm. Don't worry so much about it. I simply needed some dots connected, some pieces in place for my next move. Choose whatever metaphor suits you. Whichever way you frame it, because of you, everybody will soon be in their right place. Shit. What have you done? Your head starts to spin and you think you might cry. So you pull your hood over your head to block out the harsh green of the room. I mentioned, it still smells a little like Malik. It doesn't smell like anything at all. Really. But you remember what it smelled like at first and you hold on to that. It was real, you tell yourself. Your friends were real, and what you felt for them and with them was real too. You're so afraid for them. And as guilty as you feel for craving it, the fear just makes you need those feelings you felt before even more. You're clawing desperately for the euphoria of caring, of being cared for. Who cares if your hand is forced? You felt it, and it still mattered. Matters. Remember how you felt watching 6G perform, bathed in light and righteous anger, and how you drunkenly commiserated with her later. Went, no, that's not right. That didn't happen. Except, you still remember how hungover you were the next day. Just when you start making sense of things, the whole fucking world shifts under your feet again. You just can't keep up all this moving real estate in your brain. Ah, yes. Oh, the resets. Annoying, but necessary. You are just indescribably bad at keeping yourself alive and in one piece. And you weren't quite as adept at befriending aliens to start out with. My intervention was necessary to keep you on the right path. Time and space mean very little to me, but I had to move quickly, and again, repeatedly. Swipe some indiscriminating taking here. Befriended an impressionable young upstart there. Anger a shoulder bear. Inspire some bandits. You know how it is. You have to throw the temporal spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. No. I'm sure if you look back, you'll be able to see traces of my deft touch. So a few memories may have slipped through the cracks here and there. Timelines tend to collapse in on each other if you aren't careful. So your ability to mentally withstand such an event, and so often, is a testament to my acumen in choosing you for the task. You even almost caught on a few times, which I must say I was not expecting. You almost listened to the silly little girl who likes to dress up in big coats and cause me trouble. She was great. She could see the fucking bigger picture. And as always, some bystanders end up caught in the crossfire. The one with the shovel, for instance, I doubt his mind will ever be the same. A pity. You sit up straighter and clench your hands into fists. Over the course of his pompous monologuing, you've moved past fear and grief into deep, globe-chafing rage. How dare you do this to your mind, to your friends' lives? What was so important that one white orb asshole had to fuck with the destinies of everyone you've grown to care about? There are answers out there, and you deserve them, and so you demand them. Adorable. Yikes. You shift under your chase lounge as to better hide your famous legs from the creepy round fucker. Oh, calm down. All of you and your adherence to societal expectations and archetypes. Perhaps one day you could have just learned to take a compliment. Besides, I was being condescending. He sighs theatrically. You aren't sure where the noise is coming from. It doesn't have a mouth. How's he even talking? How the fuck does anything work at all? I knew you would, but I find explaining myself incredibly tedious. Suffice it is to say, I am a man of many boards and fields of play, and although there are countless ways to move the players around those boards, some are doubtlessly more entertaining than the others. You are simply one pawn among many. I won't bore you with the details. Doubtless you are aware of the greater contextual framework of this story. The hell you are. You aren't aware of jack shit. Your head is full of question marks. Oh, of course. How thoughtless of me. See, yet another unfortunate side effect of the limitless conversing of the narratively limited. He taps a thumb and forefinger to his orb. Perhaps it would suit you better to understand gradually. And when I say gradually, please understand that I mean it. You won't be leaving. But yes, I do believe this will clarify some things for you. This way, please. He opens the door and gestures inside. There's light coming from in there, but it still gives off the vibe of a dark closet door in an unfamiliar bedroom at 3 a.m. You're afraid, yeah. You want to understand more. You stand up and take a step, conscious of the movement of the muscles in your leg. The rosy sheen of your friendship hypnosis or whatever the fuck he did to you gone. Sensation of moving your own body feels heightened. Important. Yours. There's probably a version of you that would try to turn him down, or that would fight or run or take a nap on the surprisingly comfortable piece of antique furniture. You consider rushing back to say goodbye to somebody, anybody, or at least, you know there isn't time to click through all that bullshit. Those tributaries flick in your mental periphery. So tangible you can almost see yourself choosing one, where you pull your focus back in the present and look him right in the orb. You just have to trust they'll remember you, because the you've become after this journey, after all this friendship and growth and death and time, that you need to understand. You owe it to your friends, but even more, you owe it to yourself. You found your river, you're going to see where it leads. So you follow him. Sit here, please. In the interest of expediency, I'll leave you to your own devices while I deal with the expected but entirely unwanted guest. It shouldn't be too hard to parse out the truth on your own. Who was he in what? Wait. Uninvited get. Wait. No, this wasn't taking place. Wait, this wasn't taking place during Homestuck, was it? Because I'm willing to believe he can still be alive or whatever bullshit, but this, all you need to do is read a brief webcomic. So it tried to take me to the Homestuck website, but nothing. Wait, is the MC the narrator then, essentially? Oh my gosh. my gosh. That is so fucking cool. Wait, so that means all the prompts, all the inputs you do, that was you, the MC. Holy shit. So when John's like, hey, shit your bed, that was the MC telling him to do it. So this is after Homestuck. But how does this fit in? How? So Scratch is back. Well, yeah, no, he sacrificed his body to be to give him to Lord English. Wait, it is in the middle of Homestuck because of time. Wait, no, before/during. Yeah, because I remember the wanted guest. I forgot where exactly that took place, but I know it was one of the later arcs. I forget who they invited. Wait. So my question is then, if this is during Homestuck, does that mean MSP is reading Homestuck during the middle of the events? But since Homestuck has a lot of time-living problems, MC can react from the beginning because of the machine in the ditch. Yes, because that's right, because he can kind of insert himself, except how he inserted himself was the text prompts. And also, if I remember right, Hussey stopped doing user input on what the adventure was after a bit. And he started just taking the story more in his own direction. During the middle of the events, but since so MC knew the events of Homestuck before the end of Homestuck occurred, is what I'm getting. Wait a second. Doesn't that mean, because some of the characters from Hiveswap Act 2 appear in this, so doesn't that mean that Hiveswap is before Homestuck? You're gonna have to finish Hiveswap Act. Well, we already know what we're doing tomorrow, and possibly Thursday. I feel so bad for her character. Holy shit, I hate Scratch. I'm gonna check something real quick. So Hiveswap Act 2's playtime varies, but it generally takes around 3 to 10 hours to complete. Players focus on progressing through the main story can likely finish the game to 3 to 5 hours according to Steam discussions. If you're exploring every area and interacting with all characters aiming for 100% completion, it takes 7 to 10 hours or even longer. If it doesn't become clear by Hiveswap Act 2 what the timeline is, I will explain. Okay. So both of him are valid, but why? Why are both of them valid? I'll probably ask for clarification, but I'm gonna say let's do Hiveswap Act 2 over these next 2 days then of Wednesday and Thursday. Oh my gosh. And I'll also, I don't know if I'll be able to start Homestuck up blocks tonight. I'll probably read just a bit, but I'm a little also anxious about my interview tomorrow, so we'll see. We'll see what I have energy for. I'm excited. I'm excited to hop back into Hiveswap Act 2. Oh, I can't believe we saw fucking Scratch again. Haven't seen Hiveswap Act 2. All right. I hope you'll have just as much fun, if not more, than me learning what all this is leading to. Yeah, no, I will definitely stream it over the next few days, because I'm sure I'm gonna try to get as much information as I can. I don't know if I'm gonna do 100% completion, but if anything leads me to more lore, just more conversations in general, I will try to do it. But oh my gosh, this is just so cool. It's such a mind fuck. It makes me sad, and I hate Scratch. All three realize that both Lonkway are valid because the pieces Scratch wanted are there either way. Yeah, no. I also wouldn't be surprised if there is a decision that influences what Lonkway you get in Act 2, potentially. But the pieces, how does this... I guess it just might try to explain more what goes on in Homestuck proper, potentially. Because I guess our MC saw the events of Homestuck before they ended because of the comic. So Scratch knew all that would happen. Or did he? Oh. All right, I'm gonna go wind down. I'll try to do some programming tonight, look up some interview questions. I don't know if they're actually gonna ask me interview questions for tomorrow's phone call. It's for 30 minutes. They're asking about my skills and experience, so probably just gonna be conversations like, oh, what have you done? What's, you know, just basic, like, you know, it's like, oh, what would you do in a stressful situation and things like that or whatever. It's like, oh, what's one time where like you need to communicate properly or where you need to settle an argument or whatever, things like that. Still nervous, you know, because this is a nice job. I would like to have money. Also, I really like their main office building. It's really nice. But yeah, I'm talking faster than I usually am. You can tell I'm amped for various things, but oh, this was a good ending, because guess what? I'm now excited for the next piece of content in this series, and that's kind of what you want. Oh, shit. Just... oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love it. It all comes tumbling down, tumbling down, tumbling down. I am very tempted to have that as the thumbnail for this last volume. Or volume, I should say, not volume. Oh my gosh. Skyla, me and my hoodie as the MC and fucking Scratch in the background. What do all these characters have to do with Scratch's greater plan? Oh my god. Yeah, nope. I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna take a shower and I'm gonna go eat. And I hope all of you look forward to tomorrow. And if you can't be there, I hope the VOD, you know, I hope the VOD can suffice. But I'm ready. I'm fucking ready. This truly has been just something that has just kept getting better. I was a little iffy with Longquay, his old part. Just Longquay is probably the biggest deterrent this volume, but everything else about it was just exceptionally good. And then this ending itself, holy shit, just absolutely goated, peak. Just like, it's been a hot minute. Like, whew, I wasn't expecting another high like this, especially after just the things I got to see in Homestuck proper. I wasn't expecting another high like this. Hiveswap Act 1, just overall solid, good, just really nice. Really short though, that was a problem. But overall, short, nice package. Yeah, no, I'm gonna stop gushing. I'm gonna go shower, I'm gonna go eat, do some programming, look up some relatively easy interview questions because I don't think they're gonna ask for that much, and just try to recall previous work experiences. But everyone, thank you. I hope you enjoyed my ride through Hiveswap Friendsim. Truly, it was a pleasure. I have liked it very much. Got a little scared there, Longquay and the little messages or whatever. Thought I was going to take an even worse turn, but I didn't. Then again, I didn't go through the bad route, but from what I saw, I kind of just got bored with Longquay, so I just rushed through that. I didn't care anymore. But anyways, yeah, I hope you're all ready for Hiveswap Act 2 tomorrow. And then at some point in the future, we will be having both the Carcolicious cover. Because I kind of don't want to do it karaoke, but it's been a while since I've sang, so I'll try to do a good shitpost cover. And then as well, we'll have Pest Request and then Homestuck 2. So everyone, look forward to the future. Should be fun, and especially in the immediate future of Hiveswap Act 2 and how all this connects. So, thank you all for coming. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.